friends. Thanks for joining today. I just like literally startled my guest because I came in real hot. If you haven't heard her podcast, you absolutely need to check it out. I have Emily from She Speaks Bravo. She doesn't just speak Bravo, she does scripted, she does all of it, pop culture. And I'm so excited to have you on today, Emily. Thank you for discussing the Vanderpump Rules mess with me.
I'm more than happy to do it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And this was like long overdue. You can find her all the normal social media channels at She Speaks Bravo. And I mean, she's churning out the content pretty quickly. I mean, you do a couple of podcast episodes a week, right?
Yes, I do. I got lucky this week because Ultimate Girls Trip ended, so I only had to do 2 episodes. So I usually do about 3, but I only had to do 2 this week. So
Oh my
happy.
God.
Yeah.
Girl, do it. Y'all, what it takes to just even put one out, if you knew. She's putting out not only 1, 2, but 3. There's some times when I feel like Bravo's just kind of like, hey, let's go ahead and fuck with the collective Bravo content creators.
Like I hate when Peacock puts out the first 3 episodes of Ultimate Girls Trip. Like, why do they do that?
Same. I say as a fan, love it.
Love.
Love it. But then I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. What do I do?
As a recapper, I'm like, what? Do you hate us? What's your problem?
What did I do to you?
Why?
Like, I'm
Why?
so sorry. How did I offend you? Um, God, my bad. Um,
Seriously.
so I just, so much has happened. I feel like I say this every week. When has so much not happened?
We don't
So
get a break.
we don't.
We don't get a break.
Do we sleep at night? I'm
I've
losing.
actually been getting bad sleep because of it. Like every time there's a Vanderpump Rules episode, I notice that I don't sleep well that
Neither do
night.
I. And listen, guys, we're not crazy. It just like it seeps into your brain because you're. I feel like I'm one of those a Swiftie. You know, how Swifties are always looking for the Easter eggs. I feel like they lose sleep looking for the Easter eggs. That's what Bravo people are doing right now.
It is true because we feel like we've been lied to for so long that now we're like going back through and we're like, remember that episode and that scene from that
Yes,
season, and then we're like tying it all together, and it's like it is maddening.
it is. I feel like I know. I feel okay to personalize so much, but I feel like I've been gaslit.
No, I know. It's like we all feel personally victimized.
We have been.
It's happened to us.
Collectively.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just going to say this. Now, I don't know where in my body I'm going to find any empathy for this man. Empathy for this man. But he does. Tom Sandoval doesn't look well. Have you seen? Yeah, I mean, he's never looked well.
No. But no. Even like the start of the season, even like when he first popped up on screen, I was like, what has happened to him? I think that the alcohol and drug use finally like really caught up with him.
Yeah.
And because he's always done so much like manscaping, it's like he's sort of avoided looking as haggard as, let's say, Schwartz, because like Schwartz has
Yeah.
already been looking like bloated and bad.
Yeah.
But then this season, it's like the Botox filler and like eyebrows and stuff. It's like it's not helping. It's actually just making you look crazy.
And the contouring. Have you noticed his contouring?
Oh, is
That he's
that what
not
it
blending?
is?
There was a scene, was it
Oh.
last week or the week before, when he and Ariana are on the couch chatting about fertilizing her eggs.
Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Did you? I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is wrong with his face? Like, and I don't like to talk about people's physical appearance in general, unless I have a thing where I say, if you can't fix it in like 3 minutes, like typically just don't comment on it. But this was a
Okay,
3 minute
fair.
fix.
You know, I will. That's got okay. I didn't notice it was a contour thing, but now that
That
tracks.
I mean, the contour, and listen, I'm not a makeup artist. I don't proclaim to be, but it was at least like 2 inches thick. And I'm like, dude, it's looking like, I don't know, Disney character villain. It's not like blend upward,
Up and
not down.
out. Up
Yes.
and out.
Yes. Thank you. Learn, like, go watch some RuPaul's Drag Race because you can, I'm telling you, the makeup you
I
can learn on
know.
there.
Oh, the
Oh my
things they
God.
do.
Yes.
The things they
It's,
do. No, he
the
looks
things.
very terrifying.
Hmm.
And I wish I could, but okay. So I'm on this whole thing where like Tom has all the makings of a cult leader
Oh my God,
because,
yeah.
and isn't he get like, as you know, I'm sure you watch true crime, right? Because who doesn't love,
Obviously.
like, I feel like Bravo and true crime are so
Adjacent.
similar. So I feel like he's get like the images and the like the clips we see of him. I feel like it's like like the stuff they would show in his true crime documentary
With
of
the
like,
mustache too.
yes, it's like and that picture of him with his shirt off and like the waist trainer.
Oh
Isn't that
my
and the
God.
headband? Isn't that so like the
It is
picture they
so,
show
it
of
is a
the
Hulu
cult leader?
documentary.
Yes.
It's we're waiting for it. And then they're going to put in the insert of this random interview he just did
Yes.
where he looks like he has been on meth. I'm so sorry to say it that way, but my God, he looks like he is on actual drugs, even though he says he's sober. I've never seen someone who's sober end up looking worse as they get sober.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So yeah, I don't really buy that. Just so we're
Hmm.
clear, don't really buy that line. Nothing.
Clear on that.
I don't believe anything that comes out of Sandoval's mouth.
No,
I think
no,
that's
not
just good
now.
practice now. I think we should all just let's just not. Let's just. I think we can see pretty clearly that that man lies.
I, yeah. I mean, it's still like sometimes I still because my thing is I have a problem where I believe people very easily.
Me too. I'm gullible.
Same.
Hmm.
And I wish I weren't. Like I wish I were one of those like I'll talk with other Bravo content creators and other people just fans and they'll be like, "Oh no, you saw what happened there and you're not going to you don't believe that was the first time they had that conversation." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no, that definitely like, oh, it wasn't the first time. Got it. Got
Yep.
it."
That's I am very similar. So I relate. I relate. I'm like, uh-huh, no. Absolutely not.
Wow.
I take people at face value typically too. This
Yeah.
last episode though, I was like, okay, so
Uh-uh.
everything Tom says, got it. It's just a lie.
I mean, he's not a great actor. He's not.
No.
Like I know you live in Los Angeles, and my listeners know I was in Los Angeles for 10 years. Moved to Colorado during the pandemic, and so I know you are quite well and familiar with the actor type. And I was an actor, and this might have been why
Same.
I didn't succeed the way I'm not a great liar is my problem, and Tom also is not a great liar. It's like
He has
not.
so many tells.
He does. And it's like I was listening to this audiobook and this is the second time I've mentioned it and I completely forget to look up the author and tell everyone because it was so interesting something she said about reading body language because I love it's just interesting, right? Like all of us who like true crime and stuff like that we like these type of books, right? So she said that when people are working on a telling a lie, they rehearse the sound, the way they're going to say it. They don't rehearse what their body is going to do. And so it's your body that will give you away, right? And so
Ooh.
I'm like, okay, yes, his body, like just the smile, the way he'll, like his throat, you watch his throat get shorter and shorter, like his neck just like literally shrinks down anytime he's lying and he pulls back, cutting off his own vocal cords. And I'm like, he's about to lie right there. And apparently, anytime he says dip out, that means he's going to lie. But
Dip out with yeah, like the ever changing definition of dip out. Yeah. Yeah. No,
it's bizarre.
I, his use of dip out, like I love that he tried to use it with James because he remembered how he misused it with LVP. So he's like, make sure you use it with someone else so that they know that that's how you use dip out.
But he was too high to deliver it properly. Like, listen, if I'm smoking weed, like I am a lightweight with that. I would have immediately been like, oh yeah, Raquel was in my bed and I was with her. Like,
Yeah,
so
no,
I don't know how
he's
he
a
held
hard.
it that long.
Where he
He's a
was
hard
the
user.
where he was a high on something that you snort at the party at Christina's skincare
Heart spring.
whatever heart spring. He was so high there, and that's when he used dip out the way he normally uses dip out, which is to leave a party. And he was like,
It's
"Oh shit."
Oops. It's funny, even though again, I spent a lot of time obviously in Los Angeles and it's not something that only happens in Los Angeles. I am quite ignorant for some reason to when everyone else sees it and I don't know why that is that I don't ever pick up on when someone's skiing.
Yep.
We'll put it that way. So that it's alleged more lightly, I guess. Or we can just say he was on cocaine. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Allegedly, we put the alleged in there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things we can say at this point about Tom Sandoval that are just kind of, yeah. Something that was interesting to me. Now, I'm sure everyone saw that the finale trailer, quote unquote, leaked, right? It was very weird the way it came out from this account that had no posts on it. Great name for an account. It was at Not Today Neck. Loved that. It was the only post. Have no idea how it just appears there. And really the only difference. Now, I have to say, like, I have this photo inserted in our notes here. Whoever did this on Reddit, God bless you. Now, it's not too far off the way I psychotically take notes, but it's great. I need whoever did this to take the notes for me because it would make my life so much easier. But the biggest difference between the official Bravo trailer and the leaked one is what Raquel says in the scene between her and Tom Sandoval when apparently I'm sure you noticed this, galaxy lights behind them. This is when it's all been revealed, the new finale. And in the leaked trailer, Rachel says to Tom, "Oh, we always said we wouldn't fucking do this if it wasn't worth it." And in the official trailer, she says something, it's on here. I should be referring to this. Excuse me. She says something like, this wasn't the way we expected to have it all play out and come out. That really was the only difference I saw. Really looking at this aside from a scene with the girls, but the thing she says in the leaked trailer says a lot more to me than what the official trailer said.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. What it showed though is just truly how close they were, how comfortable they were, that they really had an affair. It was just, we knew it already, but it's hard to see it. Like them touching each other's faces like that and being all intimate like that. It's like, okay, so yeah, you guys, and saying we always said we wouldn't do this if it wasn't worth it. You always said? What do you mean you always said? What are you talking about? What are you saying? So when did you say that? Where did you say those things? Was it in the same house when Ariana was sleeping? I just don't even know that it's too much. It's too much to process.
It really is. Because it's like, Rachel just keeps revealing herself more and more. And I have to say this because I do try, and I'm sure you do too, try and preface on episodes like, look, had we not known what we know now, right? But even if we had not known what we know now, something would have been off to me about the way she was talking about pageants, the way she was talking about
that was a good one.
The way she behaved when she had her conversation with James. I even like put in photos, like I said, like our notes, because the look she got on her face, I was like, wow, dude, wow. That is not how you play that. If you're really trying to play the victim in that scene, wow. Wow, Bethany.
No, I'm right there with you. That look on her face with James was like, you're not going by the script. She wanted to break up with James. And like, as much as I know James was, James, right?
Yeah.
She did kind of humiliate him by, doing it at the reunion, handing him the ring, all that stuff. Again, it's hard to feel bad for James because it's James and, we know. And so she expected, because of the fan feedback and also I'm sure because of what Tom at this point was telling her, let's face it, I think that she was like, so this is what's going to happen. James is going to have a season of saying, I wish I hadn't treated Raquel so bad and I wish I hadn't lost Raquel. But instead, he's like, I'm going to go get a new girlfriend. And I fucking never loved Raquel. And I
You
regret Rachella. And she's like, I'm needing you to say that you don't regret Rachella. And so she literally looks at him with those eyes like, I don't regret our relationship. And he goes, cool.
You are so right on every level. I can't even, and I didn't even see that. That is so true. She absolutely thought she already thought it was going to be her redemption season, and it was lining up to kind of be that way. It was. Had she not fucking done what she'd done, she would have won this entire thing. But no, oh my God, she really thought that she was going to have James on his hands and knees. And listen, I mean, I don't know your full feelings on Allie, but I feel like Allie is, a lot of people keep comparing her to Rachel, and I don't
Not at
feel
all.
it.
Not at all.
The way she stands up to him is totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. It is a different energy, all of it. She's like, and everyone's trying to say this whole thing about, yes, she did do a reality show when she was like 18. My God, like she was trying to go pursue music or what have you in Los Angeles. Fine. Okay. Like if you felt like a reality show was the way to do it, then why would you knock her for that? We're all watching a reality show and we're going to knock someone for being on a reality show. Okay. Um, so I think she's like, nah, you're not going to play the same games you played with Bambi with me. I may have Bambi eyes, but no, there's something going on back there. I love that about her.
I think we need to focus even more on just James. I think James is like, maybe in the beginning, James was just rebounding and all that, but I think it's more that I don't think he even feels for Raquel anymore. I think he's actually at this point, he's like, I'm actually grossed out by you.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think especially if that conversation with Lala happened before this, he's really watching her.
Yeah.
And that's something that like, you're sitting there I find it fascinating to see James having a specific type of awareness that he's not really had before, where he's not just so introspective, and that's a really heavy word to use for James Kennedy, but he's realizing there's other people in the room and other people who aren't just directly affecting him, and he's watching now, just the way he was clocking things with Sandoval at that smoking lounge, which
and he's very careful too. He didn't participate too much with Lala.
No.
He was like, I don't want to get myself in too much trouble because cameras are on and I want to be cautious here because this is a huge accusation. And Sandoval has very much been like a big brother. He's kind of been the only one who has supported him. So he's like, until I totally burn this bridge, I need to be careful. But like you said, he clocked him at their little smoke lounge lunch. And he was like, so wait, she did what?
Uh-huh. Thought you said.
Okay. Huh? And then when Sandoval was like, she went in my room. I mean, not my room, the guest room. And he went, okay.
Sure. Well, and it's interesting. So, and I'll just kind of, we're going to go even more into that, but something that I didn't even realize Kristen said on Watch What Happens Live is that I think we're going to really start seeing a lot of women coming out of the woodwork who have allegedly hooked up with Sandoval. And I think we were kind of expecting that.
Yeah.
But what I think is, because I don't know if you saw what Dumois posted today.
I didn't.
Yesterday, somewhere around there, that allegedly, I don't know if you remember, I had to look her up because I couldn't remember her at all, really. From Winter House season 1, Gabby, she was the model. She apparently is also from St. Louis. And allegedly, Sandoval told her that he wanted to hook up with her.
Oh
And
God.
I don't know what happened. There's no one has said confirmed whether that actually, even the blind didn't say if it confirmed. But they said if you go on over to her Instagram page and you look at her highlights, there's one that says Bravo. Yep, that the two of them in New York, there's some video of them dancing that looked like it was an actual something with production too.
Huh.
So it was odd. I don't think we ever saw that because obviously the Toms didn't come to season 1 of Winter House. So yeah, little weird, but I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more people coming forward, a lot of stuff happening, and I don't know about you, but I think then Rachel's gonna be like, you were cheating on me while we were cheating together.
I thought I was the only one that you were cheating with.
Oh, no, because
No,
it's
girl.
Rachel. No, honey pie.
No,
Um,
no.
You know, why don't we just, I'll just touch on this because it's been such a big thing. They're closing Pump, just in the Bravo
Yeah.
news, which is sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's rent.
And you know what though? Props to Pump. That is a very hard corner.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a very expensive. I mean, but the rent that going up to $1 million a year is that's like $80,000 a month. But props to Lisa for keeping that place open. That is no small feat. So
Not at all.
well done.
Yes.
Way to go.
Yes. I mean, listen, just renting an apartment alone in Los Angeles is
Yes,
insanely expensive.
it's so
Like-
expensive.
like a studio even. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear about it, but I hope that maybe the employees can get dispersed between her other businesses. Maybe that.
Right.
Let's hope. I think
It's
she's
a
more
lot of
focused on others.
employees too. Damn, I just thought of that because it's like the kitchen.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. It's a lot.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah. Yes. R.A.P. and thoughts and prayers. And I mean that in like the least.
Yeah, the least condescending, sarcastic way. We mean that legitimately.
Yes. It's
Not
sad
in like
that-
not in like the crappy, way that Republicans say it when
Right.
there's a mass shooting.
There you go. That's exactly what I meant. I realized as I said that I was like,
Yeah,
well,
I know,
great.
and I realized too that people might no, we mean it for real.
Yeah, we're legitimate here. um, so okay, the name of this episode was Lady in the Glamp. God,
I know.
I'm wondering who the lady was supposed to be.
Me too. Because if they were trying to refer to Rachel,
Oh God,
how dare they?
how dare
How dare they?
to be in that car with? I would have to have been inebriated. Like there is no way. Can you imagine? That was probably a 3-hour drive.
I know
I'm
they
assuming.
tell me about it. Okay?
Why?
God.
Like, no thanks. I'm good.
Oh god.
And whatever time of day, it doesn't even matter. You're gonna hit some traffic on the freeway going there. And it was probably hot in that car, and they're just sitting there drinking like Topaccio.
And now that I know, because we've heard, now that everyone's like letting it all hang out, now that we know that Tom Sandoval smells like cigarettes and fill in the blank, whether it be
BO.
coffee, alcohol, BO, I'm like, because he's just so like, he seems like someone who would be so well kept and like would smell like cologne or something. So knowing
Yeah.
that he smells
Oh,
like cigarettes
God.
and whatever he's consuming to drink, it really paints a different picture.
It sure does. I didn't even think of that. Like, and that is what's so strange is like you want to assume that he did. Like, I picture him more so overdoing cologne and
Yeah.
overdoing all of it.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you stank from the inside, it's gonna come out somehow. And that's not even just about what you're putting in your body. It's what your heart is stanky. So let's just put it that way. So okay, that was kind of funny. I just like any dig that can be taken at Sandoval's expense at this point. But when Ariana was like, "Oh, Tom, it looks like your balls," talking about the turkey.
And he got offended. He's like, my balls are fine. He's
'Cause it
like,
was in
don't
front of
talk about my
Rachel."
balls in front of Rachel. Exactly. Don't talk about my balls in front of Rachel.
God, like for real. Okay, this editing. I mean, Emmy-worthy editing here. Pump editors and producers. My God. We go to Lala's office with her and James. Wow. And also, just speaking of rent and all that, Lala must be doing pretty damn well to have an office. It looked like, now we know sometimes they insert shots that are not actually where
Yeah.
the real location is. Although, yes, some of the places where these people live, they are using the real shots because I have lived in the same place as these people, exact same buildings, and it was like my favorite place to ever live in Los Angeles. Gorgeous there. But if she is got a place over there off of Melrose,
Mm-hmm.
listen, even one of those weird upstairs like places that you have to go to for
Yeah.
like a random casting, they are
Yeah.
even, I don't even want to know how much a month. Minimum of like 20 grand probably. So
Mm-hmm.
good for her. Wow. Okay. So Lala and the voiceover here, it was like such. Did it not give you like 90s teen
I
drama
loved it.
throwback?
Yes, it totally did.
It was beautiful. And we saw this preview that we've all been like, oh my God, love that, Ken Todd woke up from his nap of the day to deliver the U5
It
for
was
Lisa.
so good. She was so excited for him too. She's like, "Yes, you're doing it. You're doing a great job. Now get out of here. You've done your
Exactly.
part."
And the smile on his face, I was like, go,
He
Ken,
was. He
you
was
do
so
your thing.
excited. He was like, "I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm doing it, Lisa. That Tom Sandoval spent the night." She's like, "I know. Yeah, I know." Then he literally just leaves. He doesn't wait for anything else. He doesn't stick around for the aftermath questions. He's like, "Come on," to the dog. "Come on,
Yeah. Come on,
boom,
Mocky.
out the door." And then Lisa finishes it up. That's it.
I mean, listen, Ken earned his pay for the day. It
It was
was like,
so funny.
I mean, I was like kind of wondering, did he like write his lines down on his hand? Or I wonder if they had like cue cards in the back. Like, like I know they do this for like Eric Roberts on every set he's on, that they have like a writer that he has to have his cue cards for all
Really?
of his lines. Yes. Oh, shit. Okay, well, yeah, that's something. I may or may not have had a very close relationship with someone who did a movie with him, and so
That's
it's
so
like in there.
funny.
He's like, because he does so many. If you look at
Well,
his
hey,
IMDb, I think he does like probably 10 films a month that he just does a quick thing, and like, oh yeah, it's quick, it's done. It's like, hey,
hey, baby, whatever.
geezer teaser and over with, and they have the cue cards, and I feel like it works for Eric Roberts. Then guess what? It works for Ken Todd too.
I love it. I just really appreciated too how excited Lisa was that he was doing it. Like you could feel she's like, "Oh, right, I know. Yeah, I know." And
Yeah,
then she was it's like they were both so excited to get that scene executed.
they were.
Yeah. And Katie could tell exactly what was happening too. She's like, "Are you lying? Are you spreading
Rumors.
rumors?"
Yeah, because also like, and then you notice too when continues on, "Oh, and she was there all night."
Yeah.
Lisa was like, "Yes, you almost
Yes.
forgot that line."
That's a very crucial element. It was so good.
I was like, "Go, Ken, you do your thing."
Yeah.
But yeah, and I thought when I first saw this, I was like, "No, Ken's just like bullshitting or something, right?" Like I thought they were just trying to like play on the Abby thing, but nope. And Katie really was kind of all of us going, "What? How does he know?" And
Yeah,
Lisa,
how does he know?
"What
How
I
do
told
you
him."
know?
Yeah, how do you
Of
know?
all people, how do you know? This is like the first
Yeah.
question is like, Lisa, you don't know.
Yeah, like really? You're barely involved. Like you're never at the restaurant even. And you'll never, well, actually no, we do know Raquel actually works there because we've did you ever see this someone posted it on Instagram from Reddit where someone who went to Sir, I almost called it Pump. And Rachel was their waitress, and she it was something. I'm gonna mess up the story a little bit, so bear with me. This person, it was something maybe like butternut squash ravioli, and this person was like, "Oh, I don't like cheese in my ravioli. Can you find out if there's cheese in the ravioli?" Like literally, I think I'm pretty close on it actually. And she goes, "Got it. Be right back." She's gone for a while, and she comes back, and she's just like, "So the ravioli is cooked well done."
That is so accurate.
I was like, this is, I've been trying to find this story again. I can't. Because can you imagine? Just, it is cooked well done. Great. I'm so glad you guys are cooking your pasta thoroughly. But
Why would we?
so, actually, she does work there.
Okay. I bet they dread having her. I bet whatever manager is working is like, stop scheduling her.
Right?
Please.
She didn't even clock in the last time.
Like, stop scheduling her. I just like I make everyone else take her tables because she is true. She messes up everything.
Oh my God. See, I can't, because I know that is the type of waitress I probably would be. I would be a complete fucking idiot. They'd be like, so is the sea bass flown in? I'd be like, no, it swam or something like that. Something so stupid. So I shouldn't hate too much. But she's very hateable right now.
We can. We're allowed.
Yeah, we're allowed, right?
We're allowed.
So she shows up an hour and a half late. And this
Also,
is part of,
by the way, who they're not doing a food tasting with Charlie and Raquel for real. Okay.
Thank
This
you.
was such a staged for cameras thing, but
Absolutely.
then Raquel was late for it. But like in real life, this scene was ridiculous that they were actually filming it.
it was. Like, really? Y'all want Raquel's opinion on the goat cheese balls? Give me a break.
Come on.
She's gonna think they're real goat balls or something. I mean, can't you see her like genuinely being confused by that? I could.
Uh-huh.
So she walks in and Lisa's like, "Why are you late? Sit down," as if she cares. I overslept. And she like claws her fingers up in her face. Stayed up late. I went back to Tom's place and we went in the jacuzzi with Schwartz. You notice she doesn't call it Tom and Ariana's place.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Because, okay, you would call it Tom and Ariana's place
1000%.
because it's
1000%.
Tom and Ariana's place,
I can't imagine not calling it that.
right?
If that's what's funny is the more I think about it, I would more so end up calling it Ariana's place.
Ariana's place.
Wouldn't you? Like,
Because I've had when I was in my 20s, I remember we always went back to my friend Heather's house.
Yeah.
But like her and her boyfriend lived there, and I was also friends with Jason. And there would be times where Heather would be at someone else's party and we would go back to Heather and Jason's house.
Exactly.
I would maybe one time I would have accidentally been like, we went back to Jason's, but no, that doesn't even sound right. Nope. I would have said it would have always been, we went back to Heather and Jason's, because it's like the house becomes both of theirs. Like, it's like you always say it in a pair like that.
And it would be so weird not to.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about any of my friends who are married or anything, like, I'm like, they don't even have to be married. I just would be like, that's, I don't know. That's just so bizarre to me.
Yep.
And it stood out immediately because I was like, damn, bitch. All right.
Yep.
Because she does it again, too. And this is the next thing that I was like, oh, you are lying the way a 6-year-old lies. And the way I mean that is like, I kind of have this thing where I say, if you can't hear a child that's in your home in any capacity, whether they're yours or, I don't know, wandered in or you're related to them, and it's suddenly silent and you yell their name, right? Like, Tommy. And why did I say Tommy? Of all the names, Paul,
of all the names.
I don't know. Paul.
I didn't even notice
whatever.
I didn't notice. It felt different, but okay, fine. I got it.
Okay, yeah, I would like for it to feel a little different. So, okay, Paul. And if the kid immediately goes, nothing, you know, okay, what the fuck are you doing in the other room? What are you doing? Because she then, and Lisa's like, well, that's weird that you stayed the night over there. And she's like, and yeah, at Scandoval. She says it again. And then she goes, nothing happened though. No one asked you if anything happened.
Nothing happened though.
Bitch.
That's a really good point.
Why would you think that they thought something happened?
And then Lisa's like, well, I didn't assume it fucking did, bitch, but I'm just saying it don't look good. It's inappropriate.
Exactly. I mean, and here's the thing is Sandoval and Rachel are writing on the idea and just the whole thing that people would assume it was her and Schwartz.
That's the problem.
Anyone with eyes could see that it would not have been.
Mm-hmm.
This whole playful thing that they think is cute was actually so incredibly fucking sick to me.
Yeah.
We have eyes. She may as well have been kissing her uncle. It was disgusting.
And even if we didn't know about Scandoval, even if we
Right.
didn't, I feel like I would have picked up on that, this being weird.
Yes.
We saw the kiss, we saw Schwartz be like, I'm good, like, I have no interest in you at all. Like, we saw him make it clear it's not happening. So this would have been like, this doesn't feel right.
It doesn't add up.
This is not feeling good at all. We already got the whole thing with you guys dancing at 1 a.m. Allie wouldn't have brought that up if like Tom tried to make it seem like we were with a group of friends. We were just dancing. She wouldn't have said anything if you were with a group of friends dancing.
Exactly.
You weren't with the group of friends. It was just the two of you. And so she obviously saw something that made her feel weird about it. And that's why she passed it on. And now you're gaslighting everyone and making it seem like it's just nothing. Wow. Wow. Why did Katie, now you flipped it on Katie. Why did Katie say
Always.
this thing about an open relationship? So that's what you did. But so I think most of us would have been like, something is weird here, guys.
Absolutely. Because Sandoval thinks he's so much smarter than everyone.
Yeah.
And he's not.
Yeah.
You're not. There's like just the way you keep trying to say that you think Ariana is annoyed by your mere presence.
Yeah,
That
fuck,
she
fuck.
thinks you're an idiot. Because you are an idiot. You're not as smart as you think you are, bruh.
Yeah. I know.
It's sometimes I feel like I get too passionate and I try and like rein it in.
Right
and
there
it's
with
like,
you. Right there with you. Right there with you.
And the thing when Lisa calls them, and again, it's the deflection, like with the, well, I'm just so sick of this, like Schwartz and Raquel thing. No, it's actually, and I love that Lisa, because just like Lala said, Lisa can smell bullshit a mile away. Like, Lisa is not new to this game. And she said, well, it's a Schwartz, Raquel, or it's a Schwartz, Sandoval, and Raquel thing now.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. That was a really bad British accent. Okay.
No, actually, it was spot on.
Oh, was it? Oh, thank you. New York Film Academy really paying off there. And I was like, yeah, because it's remove Schwartz from that equation. And then it was just like we were talking about earlier when James tells Lala about the smoking lounge, right? And again, we get the Raquel dipped out. And it's like, I was trying to count in my head like how many times we heard dipped out. And I was like, dude, I think he said it like 8 times at least.
Yeah.
I stopped counting. And he says it's because he tries to, again, deflect it to Schwartz and Raquel. They stayed the night there because their dogs were there or whatever. And he keeps saying, or whatever, or whatever.
Or whatever.
Yeah. And, no, I said she dipped out and went to bed. What? She literally went into my fucking room. I mean, sorry. Not my room, my guest room. Okay. Because I think at that point, James was actually trying to put together that Rachel and Schwartz were hooking up there.
Yes, because he's fixated on that.
Yep. And go Lala, she's talking about the barbecue that they were at, and she's like, something's off here. And then when she says, I think Sandoval has a thing for Raquel. The last time Sandoval was talking about a woman the way he talks about Raquel was when he was talking about Ariana to the group while he was with Kristen. Lala doesn't miss much.
And
Scary.
Lala on her most recent podcast, I didn't actually listen. I just got it off of, I think it was Blocked by Jax, did a nice little summary. And she said that, because, not everyone. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists that want to believe that production knew and was like covering it up and stuff. And I'm like, God, production doesn't have that kind of time, I tell you.
No.
But she said, she's like, no, I would go, they film their interviews after they wrap. And she's like, I went in and was like, guys, they're having an affair. And they were like, they're not, they're really not. They're not. They're just because they're going off of what they're saying. So
Yeah.
they were convincing people that they were not having an affair and hiding it. So again, I don't. Can I talk a little shit about production for not believing that?
Go
I'm
for it.
sorry. If I was one of the producers, I would have been like, they're absolutely having an affair. Like, I would have figured that
Yeah.
shit out.
I would too. I'm sorry, but like that's part of what's getting a little frustrating too. And this has been just the ongoing theme is like you can't gaslight production in that sense because I said this on my last episode, and I try and remember being redundant, but I feel like there was something being set up here by them posting on social media the behind the scenes sort of conversations between cast members when they're in confessional, and that one where Lala was talking to the sound guy, or was she talking to the camera guy? And
Something
she
like
remember,
that.
and
Yep.
she was like, "Oh, you guys can really hear everything." And I'm like, how did they not? And I feel like they're setting it up so that yes, we did hear things, but we couldn't put it all together. And I'm like, you know, if you've ever had a lav on, it's like, yeah, you can forget that it sounds crazy, but you go pee and you're like, oh shit, someone is literally hearing me on the toilet. Like you're like, oh god, did I make any weird sounds? Oh shit. And so that's like the most forefront of your mind for like a worry. But these two, surely they said or did something. But
Just
maybe
because
like
they were giving each other looks even in the scenes. Like they were like
the time.
looking at each other in ways, and it's like, is it because we know that we're catching all the looks? Because it feels like they're editing it. Like
I
they
mean,
know.
yes, and it's making I feel like I'm going crazy, like a little bit. Again, I feel
Yeah.
like a Swiftie. Like that's the way Swifties are. They're looking for graffiti on the wall and shit like that, and I feel like that's what we're having to do, and it's addicting.
It's
Again, that's why we like true crime. Of course we do,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is like our own true crime thing
It
happening.
feels like it totally. It totally does.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, yeah, a lot of people are like, again, going along those lines of, oh, this is all staged, or they knew, or whatever. The thing is, one, no way was it staged because they would not have,
They're not good enough
Thompson.
actors to pull this off.
I mean, have we seen Rachel try and deliver
Oh
a
my
conversation that she had in her head beforehand?
No, she can't do that. Rachel could not pull this off. Are you guys crazy?
No.
No. No.
So, it's can you imagine? I'd like to take a moment to imagine if Kristen Doty and Lala were on together at the same time and they just teamed up in a way just against some man. I don't care which man. Sandoval would be
Sandoval would
preferable.
be nice, yeah.
But those two together, oh my God. The thought of these two women coming together in that way would just be wow. And I think even though she's been saying on podcasts like she would never want to come back, listen, after watching her on Watch What Happens Live,
I know,
and Andy
she was
like,
so
"You love it."
excited. Yeah. He's like, do you
was
love being
good.
back in the fray? She's like, yes.
I sure do.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'll address that elephant in the room that yes, there was what she did to Faith was
Yes.
so fucked up.
Yes.
And we're not disregarding that or forgetting it.
And other things that her, Stassi, they had a lot of blind spots when it came to racial sensitivity and awareness and all that shit. Very bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, friends, we're not, we're not forgetting that. It's just sometimes, there's a point where you go, okay, are we going to let someone try and make amends, which I would like to see her do a little more of. I will say, I know she was quiet and she went away and she was posting the right things at the right times, but I think it would be wise of her to go ahead and say, look, I'm going to address this now. Even if it's just on one podcast, the soundbite would do enough, I think, for a lot of people. We'll put that there. So we say all of this remembering things. So
Yeah.
know that.
Know that.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. It's just the sociopathic horror show we have here, back at Glamping. when Rachel is doing her toast, and then we get her confessional. I swear to God, when she says she feels like these are her core people and these are my forever friends, these are the people looking out for me and believe in me, and that means everything to me. I.
How? How? How are they going to be your forever? At this point, you knew what you were doing, so how are they going to be your forever friends?
How does that work out when you expect Sandoval to break up with basically his wife? I mean, I don't want it to be that we can't refer to a girlfriend in the same way and have it mean the same weight as a wife. And so that is also, I want to preface this, but it's like, I mean, they were together for 8.5 years. So much is wrong with her. And, I just, yeah. And, Ariana talking about her grandmother dying, and it was just heartbreaking.
Did you see Sandoval wipe fake tears? He touches his face, and I'm like, is he supposed to be wiping tears? Because he's not.
No, it was so reminiscent of that guy from Love is Blind.
Oh, see, I don't fuck with Love is Blind.
Oh my God. Well, I can tell you what happened when that guy in this last season. Was it? Oh my God. No, it was the season before last. Jesus, that time has flown. He puts Visine in his eyes. Yes, in the confessional as he's being emotional, and he looks at the producer and he goes, "Is this okay?" And they were like, "Sure, buddy. Do whatever you want to do right now."
Did he think they weren't going to include that? Did he think they were going to edit it out?
It was so bad. And that's what Sandoval, Sandoval was over there like with menthol or something. Not meth, menthol. To induce the tears. He had Vicks vapor rub under his eyes or something. Yeah, it was bad. Okay. And again, these assholes trying to like tell the story of how Rachel stayed the night. I feel like something about the way Brock said something to them. Did you pick that up too?
He was suspicious, and he wanted to raise more suspicions, but Sheena clearly was like, no, babe, honestly, it's fine. But it made me think that there was a point in time where Raquel made him think that she was coming on to him. And he was like, oh, okay, no, I'm just going to let it go because Sheena over here keeps saying Raquel is like her best friend. Then this happens, and I got the exact same feeling that Brock was like, okay, but because Sheena's like, Brock's over here like, but they lied. And I was like, I think you should heed his warning. And I feel like he didn't want to say too much because he's barely on the show this season. So he's like, I'm not trying to make too much trouble for myself. So we're just gonna.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was something for me in the way he said, well, you didn't help yourselves with your three stooges over here. And I was like,
great accent. That was so fun.
Something about there is still the incredibly obnoxious actor in me that can't help but because it's like in my head, and if it's the voice is in my head, I can't. Yeah,
that was
weird.
Really good. That was a really good one.
A lot of times it's too much.
I liked that one. That was fun.
Oh, thank you.
No, he was like, he definitely was like, I wish we would discuss this more, but I'm going to drop it because I'm not full time and I'm already on thin ice.
You really saw it where that look on his face where he's like, I know my girl's going to be like, you should have just shut up. Mm-hmm. Because I think they had an issue with that, didn't they? Like 2 seasons ago where it was like during like the COVID. Was it last season or the COVID season?
That's last season.
Maybe it was. Yeah, last season was not.
Last season they were nearly canceled. I was like, I'm not watching this shit anymore. This thing sucks. Right? And then he was horrible last season. Like watching last season, I went back and rewatched for like Easter eggs with Tom, and I was like, God, I forgot about Brock. He was horrible. No wonder he's barely in this show. So yeah, he's on his best behavior, but he definitely was like, why'd you guys lie about that?
Yeah.
And that makes me think he had an experience with Raquel.
So you think like with the rumors that have been going around, like they're not necessarily that they had something actually happen, but
Uh-huh.
like
I don't think
there was something.
he did anything. I think she might have made him feel like she would do something if he
Mm,
were to have reciprocated.
I could see that because the thing is, as we know with Raquel, if it's something her friend has,
Hmm.
she wants it.
And as my friend Pia pointed out, Pia's someone who I record with a lot. So if you check
Yes.
out my podcast, you guys
Yeah.
will meet her. She's great. She said that it is super creepy that Raquel had sex in their bed
Oh,
when she was living with them.
you're so. Oh,
Like that's a very big, like that creeps me the hell out because she had her own room,
yes.
you know?
I and like yeah, Sheena was like saying that yeah, she had a twin bed or whatever, but like
That's
listen,
plenty.
y'all have been in college, you know you can make that work.
That's fine. So I feel like Brock might have had his own feelings about Raquel.
Ooh.
He's even, remember when they were doing, there's like a little quick moment when they're doing the seating arrangements. And he says something like, "Wow, Raquel's really making the rounds" or something because he's talking about all the different men she's been with. So
Yes.
I feel like he had a hunch.
Uh-huh. And that's the thing is like they say women's intuition, but men also can see when other men are pieces of shit. They just typically don't say anything.
Uh-huh.
Is the problem.
And Sandoval is such a powerful figure in this group of friends. So he was like, I'm not gonna make a lot of waves here, but
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And to your point, her going and having sex on their bed,
I think that's so disgusting.
I have never in my life,
No,
myself nor my friends done that to me.
no.
That at least that I'm aware of. I
Mm-mm.
can't imagine a friend doing that. Like, and if they did, they would have taken the sheets off. They would have done like I have never had a friend that would have actually done that. And that was the thing too that I remember Sheena saying, right? That she was like, "Could you at least wash the sheets?" Like she didn't wash the sheets.
And a lot of people like kind of commented that Sheena's now just sort of bringing stuff up to slander Rachel and she was your friend. I'm like, no, what's happening because I
It's happening in real
understand what's
time.
happening is that for Sheena, she was excusing a lot of stuff because she was like, this is a person who hasn't really lived independently and she's just like a little fawn and Sheena's embarrassed now. Like she's looking back on all these things that she excused and she's like, I just thought I was like helping someone be like help someone grow up. But now I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you're sick.
I
But
mean,
I
yeah,
think Rachel had some like stuff from her childhood. I think there was some abuse there.
there has to be something going on and that has gone on. Yes. Or I'm not even entirely sure. And even to your point about like what's happening with Sheena, that it's like, you know how it is whenever you find something out, just she's doing exactly what we're all doing. Oh, yeah, because there was also this thing she did and that thing. She's realizing it in real time. And now I've not always been like a big Shishu fan because I do
Same.
feel like sometimes, yeah, it's like, man, you're dragging people on your podcast and like I get it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, something about, and this is terrible. We don't condone violence, but something about the idea of if of her shoving Rachel enough to where
And throwing her
Rachel
phone.
was, yeah, was so scared she went and got a restraining order. I was like, you know what, Sheena, girl, you're good. We're good.
Yeah, no, Sheena learned a lot of lessons from this because
Yeah.
she's like, I really need to check my instincts about people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. She's always been on the wrong side of history. Although I still can't like I've talked about this a bunch, so I feel like a broken record, but I haven't talked about it here, so
Mm.
huh. Um
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
she was worried about Ariana and Tom when they in so season 3 is when Tom and Ariana get together.
Right.
Season 4, she reaches out to Ariana's mom.
Oh God. Yeah. And that was
And on paper that looked so bad
sure
that we
did.
were like, how dare you, Sheena?
Like what a
But
psycho.
in hindsight, we're like, oh,
Right.
fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is like and Ariana really is good about setting boundaries with people.
Yeah.
And she set that boundary. And she set the boundary with everyone in that circle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and she still continues to, as we're seeing. And it's hard to watch her set those boundaries. But that being said, yeah, Sheena, like, when she did that, I thought, man, if my friend were sitting there texting my mother,
Yeah.
bro, I am a grown woman. You're
Yeah.
texting my mother about my boyfriend. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But again, now we're like, it's just so many things that have aged differently.
I know. Aged like milk.
Ugh. Like a Michael Darby aged. Um, anytime I hear milk, I'm like, sour milk and Michael Darby.
Yep.
They
Yep.
go hand in hand. Um, yeah. Ooh. So, yeah, we had Lala's shoot. They talked about all the stuff, and there was just only one thing. Like, Lala did make a good point about how, yes, she and Ariana hooked up in the back seat while Tom was driving, and had they been in a bedroom, maybe Tom would have been involved. Okay. Again, this was also while Lala was drinking. Let's bear that in mind. She isn't now, as we know. So I think it was a fair point to make in defense of Katie. Listen, I think Lala is a fantastic friend to her friends. Now that she's sober, it's like I think a lot of us need a Lala friend in our lives who will just be like, listen, this is, I got your back, basically. The way she and James like just really had each other's back too at
Yeah,
the
that was awesome.
bar. Yeah.
Loved it.
I love seeing those two just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
they're
love
a
it.
great duo as friends like that, like just backing each other up. When James was like, "Not true, that's not true."
See, you got the good accent in there. It's the way you hit that true, girl. Yes, absolutely. And I was gonna say we could take a break. I think we're cruising right along here. So should we just like keep going? What do you
Whatever
think?
you want, girl.
All right, let's just go. Why not? Oh God, it's just more shit aging poorly. When when Sheena and Ariana are in the yurt, sorry the way Sheena says yurt, and they're chit chatting about Sheena blaming this whole thing on Katie. Again, she and I feel like Sandoval really got in Sheena's ear too.
Oh my God, yeah.
And Sheena, this is where she is on the wrong side of history usually, is she tends to be a pick-me. And she really tries to be in with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheena, I'm being redundant myself, but Sheena, if you would just start picking the girl's side, ooh, your life will be easier, because a lot of times there's a reason why these women are leaving these men, aka Schwartz. It drives me nuts. And it has driven me nuts for a very long time. This was our introduction to Sheena in season 1, when she was lathering up Jax with the sunscreen, instead of just simply going, you can put sunscreen on yourself, or you're about to have wings on. You don't need sunscreen. Whatever. As if Jax wears sunscreen. Give me a break. Now I'm spiraling. But point being, it's historical, okay? It's well documented.
Yeah. It's her downfall.
It is. Because I think maybe that's why I think we're liking Sheena more now outside of all of this, is that we're seeing her choose the girls.
We're seeing her realize that Katie she has been mean. She's been all those things, but she's been dealing with Sandoval screaming at her because she wants her boyfriend, then husband, to pick her. Heaven forbid. And Sandoval has hated Katie because obviously she gets in the way of him controlling Schwartz. And so, but Sheena she's like, I'm one of the guys. That's my thing. Schwartz is my best friend. Schwartz is one of my best friends. And look, and Sheena is still kind of defending Schwartz. Sheena's still kind of saying like Schwartz is a bit of like an innocent party in all this. And I want her to stop doing that because we need to not give him credit like that.
Schwartz is emotionally abusive. Schwartz is an abusive man. 1,000%. I've made TikToks on this that like out of most of my videos I post, they get the most views, comments. because the number of people at mass who are like, I've seen it too from the beginning.
Yeah, no,
It's just,
he uses terminology. He reminds me of my bad ex more than any of the ones on the show because I had the nice guy,
mm-hmm,
the one who looked like the nice guy, and I was the Katie. And so you
uh-huh,
become
same.
you look horrible. Like people would be like, "Oh my God, Emily is nuts." And I'm like, "You're right. I am nuts because I don't know that I should leave this abusive situation because I'm being told I'm the crazy one and
I'm the problem.
because I am acting crazy because I'm going crazy with this, I feel like they're
Yes.
right." And so when I hear that when he came in to that dinner, ate her sushi,
Oh my
and then
God.
and all of that was I was like, oh, this is textbook. He started calling her names. He started telling her,
Oh my God.
I'm like, you walked into her dinner, sir, and she
Exactly.
didn't even want to talk to you. And then he was like, what, emotionally entitled? What does that even fucking mean?
Because everyone is entitled to their own emotions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have
Mm-hmm.
to watch the video I made because that was literally, I'm now calling it the Schwartz formula. And it became so clear to me when he tried to pull it with Lala. It's the first thing he does is he starts gassing up the female. And he really just starts, like, especially using, Schwartz loves a word of the day calendar. You can tell. He just loves it. And so, whatever word he liked from his word of the day calendar for the week, he'll start using it. I'm surprised he only used the word corny for Lala. I think because he knew if he really tried the exact same shit on Lala that he did to Katie, it wasn't going to go well, and it didn't, because Lala walked away and kept her power. But he gasses them up, just you're corny. Starts talking shit on her brand, her business, the thing that he knew would trigger the fuck out of her. What does he do to Katie? He says things like, "The problem is, you're emotionally entitled. You're the problem. You're crazy." And then when the woman gets to the point that she's so triggered that she loses her goddamn mind. That is when he sits back,
Yep.
kind of crosses his arms or puts his hand, on his chin, and he's like, "Wow, you're really upset, aren't
Yep.
you? Why are you so upset? Wow, you are crazy."
Yep.
And that's when she has lost her fucking mind. He goes in with an incredibly low blow,
Mm-hmm.
real low blow. You're emotionally entitled. See, this is the thing. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. Or I just don't like the sound of your voice.
Yes.
And then she will do one of two things. She will shut down, which is what Katie would usually do because it would just hurt her. Or she walks away like what Lala did. And that's when he starts complimenting them and saying, "Oh no, come back, come back."
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Schwartz, you
ugly.
are seen.
Oh yeah, it's
I mean, and I put
ugly.
the clips together. You got to look at it because it is.
Is this on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because if I post the same stuff on Instagram that I post on TikTok, people on Instagram are like, "What the fuck is this?" And so then
I
it's
know
like
it's
a
funny.
waste of
It's
content
funny how they don't always translate, right?
at all. And I'm like, I try because God knows it would be much easier for me to just use the same content. But no,
But
I can't.
I love your Instagram content though. But you do
Oh, thank you.
you keep it like you get the formula though. Instagram, you need to do different stuff. I don't do
Yeah,
well on TikTok. Like I just like don't get the. It's not my
we're gonna talk.
medium. Okay.
We're gonna talk because I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I do, and I'm not gatekeeping, friends, but I just don't want you to know my secret so that you're not like, "Caitlin, you dirty little." Um, I have a secret.
Okay, okay, good to know. Yeah, because like
Couple of them.
I just don't talk to the camera well.
It's well, I'm gonna tell you what. Like right now, I have a window covering my face because I can't stand to sit here and watch my face. It's hard.
Oh, that helps.
So that's how I can record on video. And then, listen, I'll edit out whatever I have to do. But with TikTok specifically, something that also can make you look better, the camera is better than using the front facing camera. I'm not going to gatekeep this.
Oh,
Turn the
use the
camera around.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, that totally is better because all I do is end up staring at my face, and I'm like,
Oh, same.
I can't concentrate.
No, and then I'm not going to use one of those filters. So sometimes this is the thing that drives me nuts about TikTok specifically. Sometimes is you'll maybe pick a fun sound to use, and then it attaches a ridiculous filter to your face, and then I'm like, God, I've already seen what I could look like if I had surgery and shit. Now I got to just stare at myself and do this again. Fuck you. Like, 'cause I'm not gonna change like, because I think it's really embarrassing when people use the filters where I'm like, man, we've all seen that bold face makeup filter.
Oh, the
It's
makeup
ridiculous.
filter is so insane.
I'm not gonna
It's
do that.
so
I'm too
insane.
embarrassed.
The glamour one or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Bold
so
glamour.
intense.
Yes.
Bold glamour. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
intense.
I'm like, I can't do it. The most I will, and there have been times where I thought, oh, this looks fine. And then I posted it and I was like, oh my God, that filter. No. And I had to go in and put a comment like, sorry, friends, this filter was not it. My bad. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be that person that's not going to just admit, like, yeah.
Hashtag
Because
no
you can
filter.
see. Oh, yeah, no. Like, I will. No, I'll admit it. Are you kidding me? I don't want to see what I actually look like all the time. Like, at least just smooth my skin out a little bit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
smooth the skin out. That's always good.
Yes. Sometimes I'll do the lashes or something, or yeah, but no, yeah, sidetrack there, but yeah, I'll chat to you about TikTok.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
a
Good.
there too. Um, so let's go ahead and just collectively silently scream about what Ariana says in confessional after this conversation with Sheena. When she says, I get it, Katie hates Raquel, but like Raquel is my friend and she's someone that, oh, it's hard to even say, is kind and sweet and loyal and just a delight since the day I met her.
The loyal. When she said loyal. When she said loyal, that was really rough.
Babe, no.
She said
Oh my
loyal.
God.
It was like loyal of all the words.
And she says it more than once in this episode.
Uh-huh.
And uses the word trust more than once
Trust.
in this episode.
Trust.
Did you hate Raquel even more when she spilled that homemade ranch? Because
I did.
I'm not even like a big ranch person.
Yeah.
But I was like,
You
I think it was the
idiot.
way she said sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's like, sorry. I'm like, well, he just said it was homemade, you idiot. You can't put it down on a table, right? Selfish.
then
You're
just
selfish.
I think it was because of the way she said sorry, right?
She's like, you don't care. You don't care. You don't mean that. I
You
hate
don't.
her.
You don't.
You don't
I do
care.
too.
You don't
Fuck
care.
her. You don't care about the homemade ranch.
Someone on my Instagram post wrote, I think she spilled that ranch on purpose.
Absolutely. Dumb bitch. I'm sorry. Okay, I shouldn't say that. That was harsh. Dumb bitch. Fucking homemade ranch. Darling gay couple made that homemade
I
ranch.
know. They just said it.
Just why am I hung up? I can't. I got to get over it. Okay, we. Okay, so this dinner conversation makes me hate Schwartz even more because the fucking liar that he is, at dinner when Raquel bites her lip. What the fuck? This was so weird the way he did this, and the way he's again with his words. Listen, we know what these words mean, Schwartz. We all have. It's just like, dude, because Raquel didn't know what this meant. He said and there was like blood in her mouth or something. She bit her lip, and he's like, that's only going to exacerbate. I can't even say the word because we know what that word kind of sounds like. Exacerbate her taste for blood. I don't want to kill the vibe, but Raquel has a type. So Brock, this was weird. Tom, be careful tonight. And Raquel's like, what do you mean, like my taste for blood? And what about my type? Men that are taken. Why did everyone find that so funny?
Bad.
Would you? I wouldn't have laughed like that. If I were sitting there,
it felt almost like it was like a relief laugh. Like it was like, we're laughing so hard, but these jokes are tapping something we're all a bit nervous about. I'm like, you all are a little concerned. Don't lie.
It was manic.
Mm-hmm. It was manic. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was like, there was nothing funny about that. And it's so funny because well, we'll get to this. How like Schwartz was saying to Rachel, oh, you can be my date to the Heart Spring thing when she was like, I'm not invited, and you can be my friend date. I am so fucking sick of this back and forth. They're so full of shit.
Stop it. Like, drop it.
They're
Ugh.
fucked up. They're fucked up. So,
They're
okay,
fucked up.
we're
They're fucked up. We're so mad. It's so good.
we are. We're passionate, but
We're
not in the way
done
that
with
Sandoval
this.
says he's passionate.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into this part because I've made it known. I did beauty pageants, friends. Okay, we're gonna start there. So I have a little bit of something here to say. This would have bothered me whether we, again, like I said at the top of the episode, whether we knew what we knew or not, because she is portraying this as something that it absolutely is not. Period. End of statement. I'm going to give more. I've spoken on this on previous episodes, but I'm really going to go in. Okay. Because, hey, I didn't hold a title with the USA system. I did do well at my state, but hey, I don't really owe much to anyone except my pageant coach, who was like a second mother to me. So, and she would be fine with me saying a lot of this. All right. So Rachel starts saying that she has the pressure to apparently like get her shit together, and you know how she aged out of pageants and she can't compete anymore. Okay. We're going to start with this point, and you and I chatted about this on social media a little bit. The reason there is an age restriction and the way she painted it out to be is not exactly the way it is. So when you compete as a teen, you compete, and this is what's weird, is there are 14-year-olds all the way up to 18-year-olds competing. I, as an 18-year-old, when I got fourth runner-up, and this was in Oklahoma, I think I competed against like 90 girls, just in the teen division. The girl who won was 15.
Oh, wow.
Put that in your brain, an 18-year-old competing against a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
That's kind
exactly.
of weird as it is.
Yeah.
I had just turned 18, so you know. So then you take that as, like, depending on when your birthday is. Because the state pageant was in November. My birthday's in November, and the pageant was at the end of November. So I barely ended up in that cutoff. If my birthday had maybe been in June, then I would have been competing as a miss. And that means my 18-year-old ass would have been competing against potentially 28-year-olds.
Okay.
First of all, my body at 28 was not doing the same thing it was at 18. That's not fair to the 28-year-old. And also, my brain at 18 was not putting two and two together the same way it was at 28. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay? That's number one about the age limit. Do I think that what they should do instead is make it at least 15 to 19 or 15 to 20? And even though 20 is no longer a teen, that makes a little more sense to me, right? Make it 16 to 20 and then 21 to 30 be the miss. That makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. The system she competed in was the same one that I competed in mostly. There are two different types of pageants. There's the America system and then the systems that are like America, because we've all heard of toddlers and tiaras. They're like, the amount of different systems are ridiculous, but they all fall under mostly two categories: USA system or America system. America system, that is where there is a talent competition. USA style pageants, USA Universe, there is no talent competition. And I've said this previously, but I used to always joke, yeah, I'm one of the USA girls. We have no talent. So there's that. USA, when you compete, now I didn't compete at national level, so I don't know if this is the same. When you compete in prelims, there is Friday night, or was it Friday, or it doesn't matter. It's over the weekend. Let's say Friday night is prelims. Very first time the judges see you is introduction. You're all wearing the same outfit. The first thing they're judging you on is swimsuit. You go out on that stage in your swimsuit. Then you go out on stage in evening gown. You all go to bed. The next morning, what should be in most pageants the most important thing, interview, is judged the next morning. Now, this is something that cracks me up because your moms are watching. Apparently, her sister was Raquel's pageant coach.
Wait, really?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And her brother-in-law was the program director. They've known Raquel for years.
Oh.
So interview is where they literally they will ask you these questions that are supposed to basically trick you and be so difficult that they just want to see how you think on your feet, because they are interviewing you for a job. The title is a job. And part of why they ask you things like, well, even if you're 15 years old, what do you want to be? Is because even if you were 15 and you win that pageant, you are most likely winning a scholarship to a college. And they want to know what you're going to do with that scholarship money. It can be 25 grand that they're giving you, and they want to know what you're going to do with it. I told my first pageant, I was like, oh, I want to be a fashion designer. Do you see me sewing a button on straight?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Do you see anyone mad at me about it? No. In fact, they're probably rejoicing that I didn't become a fashion designer because they're like, Caitlin, no, you're struggling enough as it is. Okay, so there's all of that. And this is a little bit ranty. But the point is, the reason why they asked you what you wanted to be, Rachel, is because they wanted to make sure you were in this for more than wearing a pretty dress and a sparkly crown, which you are now proving even more so is all you were in it for. Okay? Now.
Wow.
That it's a job.
Yeah.
Is the USA more about being pretty and being a model and being tall? Yes, it is. 1,000% a fact. I'm going to tell you something. Going to be controversial if someone picks up on it and wants to be a shithead, but this is a fact. When I was competing as a teen, I remember our program director said to us, the night of rehearsals, we tell the judges, I will never forget this, that when you make it to top 5 and you are given onstage question, not to pay attention to what you say and how you answer the question, only pay attention to what they look like for how you are going to choose who wins.
Oh. Okay.
They said that.
Okay.
So there you go. And that was when Donald Trump was owning the pageant. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So her being like, oh, the crazy thing about pageants is the fact that you kind of have to have this career path.
Yeah, it was very, I think that this is what I think Raquel is kind of incapable of having her own thoughts.
1,000%.
Because she went
you
from
just give an answer.
Yeah, she went from she's like, I have to be in pageants. I have to do the pageant thing. And then now she's aged out and she's like, what do I do next? And this group of people have taken her in. And now she's like, okay, I'm going to do whatever you guys want me to do. So she's like, yeah, I'll go to Katie's room and tell Katie she can't be at the pool. It's like, you went up to Katie's room, knocked on her door, and told her Sheena doesn't want you by the pool. You did that? You, who just, okay, you're insane. And then she's going to go to tell Katie, if Ike has Schwartz, it's none of your business. And you're going to go tell Ariana, I know I don't want to ruin that part, but still, she's not capable of, that's what I'm saying. She would join a cult and commit crimes on behalf of the cult.
Right. You are so right. She really would be, I'm sorry, but one of the Manson girls. Easily.
I'm telling you.
Easily.
Yes.
Oh my God. She so would be. I mean, it's I get, I know James put it as I don't want to call you the D or the S word, but it's girl. Oh my God. I've not seen anyone on television be given so much platform to be a role model for women and girls who just cannot. It's you can't be smart and stupid at the same time. I don't get it. It's okay. Because for her to be able, there's some sort of and you know what? Now this is getting dark because I see it now, what you're saying. How she is able to sit there and let Ariana hug her and hold her and say, I think, you just being you is even more of role model behavior, all of that. And I would have just buried myself right there. Are you fucking kidding? Done. And then for her, whenever Sandoval and Ariana get her these vintage 1990 Versace glasses, I'm sorry, since when is 1990 vintage?
Yeah, I know.
The actual fuck.
I know.
I'm not okay at all.
I know. When I hear that stuff, I'm like, oh, what?
Because I was like, oh, maybe it's the year she was born. And I was like, nope, couldn't be. Shit. Okay. Nope, it was actually considered vintage. All right. Sweet. That hurt. And again, them being disgusting and like fucking around like this, like in front of Ariana, when Schwartz is like, I feel bad I didn't get you anything. Oh, that's okay. You can give me a kiss. That was so sick. It was so wrong on every level.
Because she's doing it to make him jealous. It's like she's doing it to make Tom jealous.
But they both know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Oh, yes, and to make Sandoval jealous. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's doing it to like turn Sandoval on. I swear. I swear. Yeah, like he's like a voyeur. Like Sandoval's got I'm sure he's got some kinky, weird things that he's into, and I'm sure he like likes that.
Just the way he said, instead of just saying that Katie called her a fucking whore, that he said that Katie called her a little fucking whore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You are so right. Mm-hmm. So at the Heartspring event, are you surprised to see that Logan friend of James there? Wasn't there like a whole blow up about? Am I?
Well, no, they've remained friends. Like all of them. Okay. Like he's really good friends with Lala. They're like best friends. Like that's her gay. So 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 he's been around. And in all honesty, Logan and James did hook up.
I think everyone is very fluid on this cast, and and maybe they aren't ready for it to be on TV.
I wish James would just be like open with his, because he would be the most fun, like,
oh my God. Yeah. Just be himself.
Because, like, you can see glimpses of it this season. You can see glimpses of him being like, because I don't think he's just, I believe bisexuality is real. I hate when there's that awful, like, okay, when men say they're bisexual, they're just gay. It's like, no, that's not a thing. Not. Because I think he's genuinely attracted to women. I think he thinks Lala is gorgeous. When she walked in for their little like lunch at the bar before they talk about beach day, they kept cutting over to him, like checking her out when she walked in.
I need a man to look at me that way.
Tell me about it. So I really like wish, because he gets like down with the girlies. Like he like I do. That's why Lala said to Raquel many seasons ago, like, Logan did him a favor. Like, Logan didn't tell everybody what happened. So Logan's been around.
It's because that's what my mind immediately goes to, because I think we have seen him more, but I'm just forgetting. Like last season,
I know, it's like a blur.
Exactly. That's the word. That's
happened?
The word.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved that Lala called Raquel a very stupid demon. That was kind of accurate.
So accurate. So accurate.
Raquel's outfit, man.
What the fuck?
Y'all? No, we are not bringing the whale tail being out of our pants back. Okay, I don't care what Bella Hadid is doing or Dua Lipa. I don't give a fuck. We're not doing it.
My whole body hurt looking at that.
So I think it was like supposed to be a part of the top. I don't know.
Was it a part of the? Was it a bodysuit? I can't. Not having it. Not having it.
I mean, I've seen worse outfits, but Jesus, Raquel. Yeah. And then it's like, this is my next question. Do you think that Katie's words keep getting twisted and misconstrued, or that she's saying shit that she really shouldn't say? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I think that she has thoughts on Tom and didn't expect it to get back to Ariana. I also don't judge her for that. I think she was trying to say Tom isn't the most trustworthy person. He likes to go out. I do think that she said some stuff she shouldn't have said. I don't think that she's wrong for that, because I think at this point it's all moot. And I think that what's her face? Sheena's just upset about it
Sheena.
because she's like, those are my friends, and she's talking shit about Raquel. It's like, no,
No, she's
we're
blowing it up
focusing
to
on
be
the
something
wrong
different.
thing. We're focusing on the
Exactly.
wrong thing because you want to distract from the issue. So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm sure she had some, because cameras were down, they were keying. It was the end of the night. I'm sure
Right.
Katie had some cocktails.
Oh,
So,
yes.
I'm sure she said some stuff. I'm sure of it.
I think she did too. I think I tend to be a minority in this sense that I tend to be a bit of a Katie defender, but I think it's
Oh,
just
me
because
too.
okay, yes, because I'm so triggered by Schwartz that it's like,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
you and I have been that female as we discussed earlier, and it's
Yes.
like we have seen it for what it is,
Yeah.
and it's, yeah.
And I
So,
think Katie should have said that, should have said something like that because she thought she was having fun, but she didn't expect it to. She thought it was going to be like when Allie went and told people, it was going to be like, why the hell is Tom there with
and not about what
Raquel?
Katie said.
Exactly. So Katie did nothing wrong. I stand by
100%.
Katie for sure on this.
1000%.
Yeah.
And I think a part of her was saying, like, yeah, I mean, they don't keep a tight leash on each other, which that, yes, I do believe that's exactly like, I think that got misconstrued because I can see where she would have said that. That makes
Yeah.
sense to me. Um, Ariana just, okay. All right.
Brutal.
So when, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Ariana says during this conversation, we get back to her confessional and she's saying, obviously, like, no, was she? No, she said this to Katie. I'm sorry. Obviously, I like love Raquel dearly, and she's one of my closest friends. And I not only trust and love her, but I trust and love my boyfriend. I understand how you feel, like, but I'm not going to sit and be like, whoa, who is Raquel? Like, oh, I don't know her. Fuck. I know.
I didn't. So, okay. I didn't know that part of this season's storyline was that they were going to blatantly say, I don't trust Raquel with Tom, and Ariana was going to be defending it. Like, I didn't know that that was going to be part of this, so it makes this even worse and more difficult. Like, I enjoy reveling in the fact that Sheena was defending Raquel. Like, I have fun being like, haha, don't you feel stupid? But not
Yeah.
when it's Ariana.
Ariana, no.
No, not fun.
It is more personal and deep. It hurts. It hurts. You know, and when Katie's like, yeah, well, you know, I do hope she's a wonderful friend to you. And I find it odd that she's a wonderful friend to some people and then like a shitty ass person to others. And it's like, yeah,
Dude,
Raquel is not.
it was right there. Katie was like saying
I, it's like, it was just so on the goddamn nose. Because then, to me, how on the nose when Ariana says, and if I was in your shoes, I would feel just like you. But like if your beef with her turns into like me getting dragged into it somehow, that's not okay. And I was like, you are in Katie's shoes times 10.
it's so rough.
And something I do appreciate, Ariana says, and I think this is something that needs to just be brought up more often, is that she says bisexual does not mean polyamorous. I don't know if those were her exact words, but like I feel like people are so stupid about this and they assume that that means if you're bisexual, you're okay with your partner going and fucking around and your partner's okay with you and fucking around.
So true.
How does that make it makes about as much sense as someone who is completely and totally heterosexual is saying about about that person, oh well, surely they must go fuck around just because they're heterosexual and they see other human beings they're attracted to of this opposite sex. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's not the soapbox Caitlin needs to be on today.
No, I liked it.
Okay, guess Rachel's carrying the Dior bag James got her and he completely forgot about that. I'm sorry, if I dropped that much money on a bag, I would absolutely never forget it. And every time I saw that bag, I'd be like, how's your lovely little bag there, Rachel? I mean, if I were James, I would never let her forget who bought her that bag.
She's so pissed he forgot though. She's like, you don't recognize it? Hello.
For my birthday.
Nothing.
He's like,
Nothing. He's like, I have basically forgotten we ever dated. She's like, I swear to God.
This conversation, and I love how I mean, your observation of it, not to get all like Schwartzy sounding, was so astute about what she was expecting. I'm taking it in a totally different angle now, because I think it's not as dark as just fucking hilarious, because I took it so dark at first, and now I'm like, this is so funny. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, anyone who's ever broken up with anyone, you better believe you are not allowed to move on and be happy. You are supposed to pine after and be miserable for the rest of your life, and I can move on. Duh. And that's what she thought. I mean, bitch really thought.
And he's like, production was like, hey, Raquel wants to film a scene. She's a little upset. She wants to talk to you. And he's like, oh. And Allie's like,
right.
Allie's like, you can go. Like, you can go do it. And he's like, all right, okay. And so he walks over. He's like, oh, can I sit down? She's like, sure. And he's like, yeah, okay. I mean, I was told to come over here, so I'm fucking sit down.
Make sure I look nice.
And then he checks his hair. As she starts talking, she's like, this is supposed to be a dramatic scene where you feel bad for me because you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because the look on her face when he does it, she's like, when this bitch really said, I feel like you shouldn't have any regrets in life. It's like, oh, that's rich. Okay.
Yeah. Right?
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. And when James, of all people, says to Raquel, you need to grow up at some point and learn from past mistakes. Okay, James. Okay. All right.
Thus calling her a mistake. She's like, I think you say things just to hurt me sometimes. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, but it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And, they do their whole bickering thing, right? And so then she says to him, which I know I had a feeling, I'm sure you probably did too, from the trailers we saw, that she was most likely talking about James.
I did too, right? I'm like, I'm not going to believe that it's about Sandoval, all right, guys? Like, yeah. Stop.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Because don't worry, what she ended up saying was much worse than that.
Right?
Like, this...
Nothing.
This had at least a little bit of meaning behind it. When she's like, you know what, James, I don't fucking regret our relationship. I don't regret saying yes to your proposal. Obviously, you have a lot of regrets in your life. And she was fuming. Steam out of the ears. And I loved, you know what, good on you, James. In confessional, he's like, I may not have seen it in the beginning, but I see it now. Just a completely wrong girl. And then, of course, he had to come in after being mature. Of course I regret Richella because I wasted an amazing proposal on you.
I loved that.
Great, dude. Oh my God. But that look on her face. Emily, the look on her face.
She smolders. It's scary.
It scared me.
Yeah.
She really did look like a stupid demon.
Yes. She's like, how fucking dare you? Like, we have this whole relationship where I look stupid. I was supposed to leave the relationship and look like a smart, independent woman. And then instead, you go and get a new girlfriend in 2 weeks. And now look at
Who's
me.
a way hotter version of me.
Yeah, she's so pissed.
Oh, just the thing she says at this moment is that's the part when they're like, oh, yeah, that's part of life. And she's like, yes, that's part of life and why I do everything I do. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, could you calm down?
Yeah, dude. She looks scary.
Scare the fuck out of me. God, how'd you like to try and break up with that? I wouldn't. Like, you're going to put a hex on me or stab me in my sleep. Or no, you'll wake me up to stab me because you're going to want to give me that look again.
Just so you know, I pushed my 5 o'clock because I'm having fun, so I pushed it to 5:15. So you have a little more padding.
Okay, good to know
Yeah,
because
because I was
I was
like,
like, oh my God, I gotta.
I was like, we're not gonna get there in time. So I checked. So I was like, we're gonna have to push to 5:15 because I was like,
I'm
I don't
so
want to speed up.
okay, because I was like, oh my God, I need to move.
No,
I'm watching the clock.
I'm having too
Okay.
much fun.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That's what we love doing around here is having fun. This is supposed to be
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
Mhm. Bravo should be fun,
Damn
even
it.
when it's dark as fuck, like
I know,
Vanderpump
right?
Rules
This
right
is like
now.
so dark too, but we're like, this is so fun.
But honestly, like again, I just love how you gave me that take on what was going on in that
Because
last scene.
isn't
'Cause I
it
was like,
so accurate?
yes, and you gave me one small and sorry, you did give me one small thing to sort of give a tiny nugget of empathy for her, where I'm like, oh yeah, no, he should be pining after me and should feel like he really fucked up, but I James was not going to give it to her. And you know what? On top of that, look, James could be himself incredibly emotionally abusive, and we cannot forget that. And verbally, I mean, the emotional and verbal abuse were like insane. But I'm the way she said that she had been intending to leave him, remember? By setting the ring, she thinks she is in some Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
She really does.
Yeah.
Like, on a level that I'm like, girl, this is, this may be television, but it's real life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's,
And I'm really convinced now that by the time she was leaving James, Tom was already kind of like, they were already at least dancing around the idea of something. Because something
it,
just, there was a new confidence to her at that reunion.
yes, there was. You're right. It was the Rachel. She was Brickell before, and now we have Rachel.
Yeah. And he was
Hmm.
that because when I went back to watch, he was buttering her up a lot, like helping her get her confidence. He was very much a part of that. He saw like a little wounded person. He likes those types. He likes to like, build those people up. And so I think that he was part of building her confidence and was, so
Oh, absolutely. Because remember how they zoomed in on his face
mhm.
when she did say they broke up, and we all thought it was
Yes.
because he paid for the proposal.
Uh-huh.
Mm, mm-mm.
Mhm. And he lied
Probably
saying he
something
didn't
more.
know that it was coming, but I'm like, he knew.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the only person on that stage who very clearly did not know was Sheena because we got the
Yeah.
jaw drop
Yeah.
the,
She didn't know. Yeah, totally.
at all.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, okay. I have to say, I adore the way Lala approached both Ariana and Sandoval about this whole thing at the bar.
Fully agree. I think this is one of her best scenes of the season.
Yep. She even the tone of her voice, she even went ahead and made herself a little small.
Yep.
And she let her voice get a little higher pitched, and she
Yes.
really just she leaned into her femininity and just it
Softened.
was, yes, beautiful. No notes, but I have a ton of them, so I lied. Um, hmm. When Lala's telling Ariana about the barbecue, and when I first watched this, I was like, "Wait, what? Who is Jake?" So there's this friend Jason that Sandoval rode with to the barbecue, and during the barbecue, it seems that that's when Ariana found out her grandmother had died. So at this time, Ariana's texting and calling Sandoval saying, I could you come home? My grandmother died. And Sandoval apparently told her that his ride left without him knowing, right? So Lala's like, no, he did know because I was standing right there. And
It
Ariana
was
calls over
such a
Sandoval.
perfect bust.
It was.
Hmm.
And you know what's interesting is I feel like usually Sandoval would have been like, no, you weren't. You weren't standing there. I feel like Sandoval usually does like a full gaslight on this. But it was really odd to me that he went ahead and told the truth, essentially. And there was something else he did. And I love that Ariana did. So then Ariana's like, okay, so wait a minute. You told me you couldn't leave because your ride was gone and you couldn't get a car. And you see her putting that together, and she's like, what the fuck, man? And when he goes, and again, this is him the lying where he pulls back, his neck gets short, and he cuts off his own vocal
Ooh.
cords, where he's like, well, yeah, he does this weird, like, head bobbing. I kind of figured you wanted to be alone. Did you? How loud were you in that moment?
Especially because I'm like, he went, well, he was so caught off guard. He's like, I wasn't expecting to have to lie about this thing again because I thought we were done with it. But I'm like, you yourself were saying Ariana was mad at you for not coming home. So how are you saying this lie right now?
And I'm going to tell you something that's really interesting to me. And I think if we then, it'll be another Easter egg for us. When someone is going to lie, someone who's a very seasoned liar, they will throw in an embarrassing truth along with the lie. And that's what he did by telling Ariana he was taking a shit. And that's why he didn't know Jason left. It might not be embarrassing in their relationship necessarily, but it's still something that innately in you is embarrassing a little bit. So why would she question him telling her something that's slightly embarrassing?
It's so true.
That's what liars do.
It's so true.
And God, if my heart was not wrenched anymore. Now, what I can't wait for is when we get Dragon Ariana. And when I say Dragon, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be Stassi and basic bitch with the Khaleesi version, because if you watch Game of Thrones, Khaleesi's not really the best thing to be. But just that, like, fire breathing. I cannot wait for the Ariana confessionals next season, because she is going to be a new bad bitch. You know that. But where she's sitting here feeling wounded about, 8.5 years, and somehow it feels like that maybe he doesn't think I'm as important. Now, here's the thing. And you may not know this about me, Emily. I just got divorced. My divorce was finalized in February.
Congrats.
Thank you. When you're with someone pretty much the same amount of time we were. And yes, you do expect, obviously, we've all had long-term, not all of us, but, long-term relationships. You start going, well, do they care? Do they, whatever. This is the time, and they call it, the 7-year itch. And they had just surpassed that. And I feel like that must have been, if we look at 7-year itch timeline, because it's very standard for couples long term, especially married couples, but just committed couples in general, to start going, something feels wrong, something feels off. Is this the ultimate relationship I'm ever going to have? So I think that's interesting that you're, to your point, thinking that everything with Rachel was happening a little sooner than we even are still thinking, because that would have been closer to that 7-year itch mark, right?
Yeah.
So,
I see where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm. So her pointing out how long they've been together, because everyone been saying 10 years or so, and I was like, okay. And then when she said 8.5 years, I went, that's interesting.
I see where you're going with this.
Uh-huh. And God, the more foreshadowing when she also says to Sandoval in front of Lala, you said you didn't know Jason left because you were taking a shit. You realize you put me in a position with this where people will think that I'm a fucking idiot. Everyone thinks that you just wanted to hang out there for a few hours. I have a feeling you and I both have had that ex that would have stayed at that party. And that would have been like, no, I think she just wants to be alone. Can't you see him doing that? Can you hear it? Can you feel it?
I can hear it. I can feel it. And I also think that, remember how on Howie Mandel, how Tom said that Ariana liked to put up a front about their relationship and he wanted to be honest this season. So he contacted Jeremy, the producer, so that they could have that scene. And the scene where he basically staged it to look like he was like, look how much we're struggling, guys. Look how much we're struggling. We don't have sex. Everyone, are you watching? And that was all to make her look bad. He didn't anticipate this scene happening. This was an accident. This was not intent. This was not on the agenda, not on the schedule. So when she says, you realize you're making me look bad, right? You realize you're making me look like an idiot. I'm thinking what she's saying is, I'm not going to be able to keep you looking good like you want me to. I'm not going to be able to keep up the front that you always want me to, because you want us to have this front. I'm down to have conversations about our relationship. I'm down to deal with shit. You're not, because you have convinced me from the beginning of this relationship not to take shit to the group level, because they're all a bunch of liars. They're all a bunch of whatever, which is not a tough sell in this group. But she has been protecting him from the beginning of this relationship, and she's lost herself in the process. And now she's so practiced in this. She even smiles at one point as she's saying, she's like, well, but now it looks like, Jason left the party and you stayed, and she smiles as if to keep it up for the cameras.
Girl, preach and go off. Yes.
And
yes.
So I was like, and he's, because they got all the episodes, right? They did the reunion, so they got all the episodes.
Yep.
So he did that Howie Mandel interview to get ahead of all of this, because he knew she was going to have this confessional where she was going to say, it's like, I'm not his priority. And then he went on the Howie Mandel thing and said, isn't it crazy that she didn't even notice I wasn't around, and she didn't even notice I was pulling away?
Because, of course, it was her fault that you were cheating. Of course, that's the way this works.
Because wouldn't a partner who cares about me notice that?
Uh-huh. And you're going to tell me that she didn't bring anything, that it's not fair, right? Like he said, it wasn't fair that she wanted to say, I'm going to be done with the show if we do this. I'm not doing it. I'm not showing up. I'm not doing it.
Hypothetically, too, by the way.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. What do you call what she goes through on camera in this new season finale? What do you call that? Because I'm going to call that completely emotionally raw, open, and right there with it. And guess what, buddy? You're the one who was lying through your fucking ass holding a front there.
Good fucking point. Good point. Good point. Because he's talking about something they talked about, like, in therapy. He's like, I said, hypothetically, what would we do if we broke up? And she hypothetically said, well, I would quit the show. I'd move away. I'd sell everything. It's like, that was like a private conversation. She talked about hypothetically. Like, we've all said something silly like that.
If someone's like, well, what happened? Like, especially when you're in that stage of thought where you're like still, what's the word? Like, holding on to what you think you want and what you think is good for you and what you think you need in that relationship, and you don't want to let it go. And then someone presents you with the hypothetical of it being ripped away from you. Of course, you're going to say something dramatic.
You're going the thing.
Yes. Because if you do this, I'm going to do that. And the way he tried to almost like insinuate she was going to self-harm in some way, I said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, like, no, you don't do that. But you say, look, you do that, then I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to be on your little show anymore. I'm not going to keep playing your games. I'm not going to be your ex on the show the way Kristen had to. Whew.
Yeah. So he got even more disgusting to me as I watched this scene, because it was like very clear to me that he went on Howie Mandel to like further the lies about her. It's like, you already publicly humiliated her, and now you're going to go on and do deliberate lying and spinning of the facts. Like, you've done enough.
Yeah. Plenty. I think it's going to be real fun, and I say this with only the darkest sense of humor, to watch Tom Sandoval and his acting reel next week.
Right?
I mean, it is... Buddy, he's probably going to submit that for auditions. Probably. Who was I listening to that said that he's still trying to, he's still submitting
Shut up.
for auditions? Yes. Um,
No.
yes. He's still trying to act. Like, dude,
No. You can't, Tom, I'm sorry, sir, but you can't be like a day player on a TV show. Like Tom
no
Sandoval
one's
can't
taking that. No, we're not. The CW isn't taking reality stars as guest appearance. You're not going to have a co-star on
not this
Vampire Diaries now anymore.
recognizable.
No.
You're at the center of this huge controversy, you idiot. Oh my God, I can't he's gonna start a cult. I'm telling you, this man is like Tom and the most. Although, did you see that? Did you see that? I think it was Tracy Morrissey. I can't remember. She went to his concert, and there were all these empty seats. There were like 4 people there.
It's so like, and that is like my worst nightmare, to be an audience member in something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable.
You're like,
because
do I leave?
I am uncomfortable for how you must be feeling. You know, it's like going to open mic night. Oh my God, I can't. Like, I start
okay,
sweating.
so wait, you've been in LA, so you know those theaters. Some of the theaters in LA are so small, but they're not just
Tiny.
small. The stage, like the audience is so close to the stage. Like I'm talking like you could reach out and touch your friend who's acting in the play. So
Yes.
there have been times
And I've
where
been
like
on those stages.
yes, and so there have been times when I've been invited to like, and I was acting too, but like I would be invited to a friend's play because you show up, you support, and you get there and you're like, it is just me and the other friend that were invited. And you're so close, you can basically be like, hey girl, like you're talking that close.
my
So
God.
like, I know what you mean when
Oh my God.
you're like, hi.
I know exactly. Like, I just, there's the number of theaters, y'all. Like, if y'all, should we even call them a theater? I guess we could.
Yeah.
I will never forget. There was one in the Valley that my ex-husband's, was it his boss? His boss directed it. And it was one of those theaters. Y'all, they had a man on stage go full frontal nudity in
What?
this tiny theater.
No.
And I was like, I am far too close
No.
to a penis I don't
Nope.
know.
Nope.
Can you imagine? Guys, it's like,
Full frontal nudity?
yes. And then because you know you're so close to the stage, you're watching your face. And I was like, I mean,
You
listen,
have to
I
be
was
so
trying not
careful.
to react.
You have to be so careful.
Because you don't want to throw them off. It's like, and I just remember my ex-husband, he like just put his hand on my leg because he wasn't expecting it either. And we both were just like,
Be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool. Don't make any sudden movements.
and I was like, when is it over? When is it over?
And
this
that's
guy was-
the thing is, it's so small, these theaters, that like you can't walk out.
No, listen, no, absolutely not. And those chairs are loud as shit.
Yes.
And the wood that you were walking on is loud.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, like y'all, when we say these theaters are small, I'm telling you, imagine some living rooms could pass
Yes.
as one of these theaters, and it's like you're going cross-eyed.
You're
trying
committed.
to- Yeah.
You
better not have to pee.
That's the thing. It's like when you get invited to one of these sorts of shows, it's like you're stuck. Like when you go in there, it's like, okay, all right, this better be good.
And when they start, like, some of them do like some sort of audience work sometimes too, and they start trying to go up and down the aisles, and you're like, man, I'm already like,
You're like, I'm already in it. I'm already like
Yeah.
in your play. Like I could just stand up and I'm like, hi, I'm in it now. I'm a part of it.
people would
Hello.
believe it. People
Like,
would believe it.
They-
I mean, like the flashbacks I'm having of the number. Oh my gosh. And like, yeah, of course you go and support. And so it's like to be in that room. And like sometimes it's more comforting that it's a small room because then it makes it feel like there are more people in there. But at the same time, it's like,
So I actually have seen Sandoval's show. I
Have you?
yes. So as it was a gag Christmas gift that my sister and her boyfriend, well, their fiance, and her sister-in-law. So then I guess that'd be my sister-in-law, right?
Technically, yeah,
Right?
kind of.
So
Sister
she
in law.
sister in whatever. So
Yeah,
she got
close.
all four of us tickets to go see Tom and the Most Extras for Christmas. And so it was at the Agora Hills show
You went to the Canyon Club.
where James met Allie. We were there. I was there the night that happened. I watched it happen.
What?
Yeah. So
That is amazing.
I can say from firsthand experience that Tom's show is terrible.
Yes.
It starts, I mean, it's terrible in a way that's like entertaining. Like all the cast was there except for Katie and Lala because obviously, duh.
Yeah.
I think they were being paid to be there because like they were very friendly, super kind. Like everyone was like, James took a picture. Like my Kirby, my brother-in-law, he was in the restroom and James was in there, and Kirby was like, "You have to take a picture with my girlfriend," and he was like, "Okay," and he came over and like took a picture, and so and yeah, it was fun. But so the show starts with Tom playing the trumpet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No,
And
fucking trumpet.
okay, so he is spending a lot of money. Like James was not kidding when he was like, I think the guy is like one of the drummers from whatever. Like he's spending top notch. The keyboardist the night I went was this young kid who was clearly like probably talented as hell. I have a highlight reel. So if you go to my Instagram, it'll say Tom's show. The highlight reel shows the keyboardist. I'm like zooming in on him because he looks like he's like, I hate this. And you can hear Tom singing, like he's like holding a note all off key. And the guy's like rolling his eyes, just like playing the keyboard, like, oh my God, I hate myself. The set was over 2 hours.
Oh Jesus.
And it doesn't make
No.
sense. It's like it's random cover songs. Like there's no like genre he sticks in. There is no he doesn't sing on key at all. It's awful. And it goes on and on. We wanted to see James because DJ James Kennedy was playing afterwards. So after I want to say 2.5 hour set, finally DJ James Kennedy comes on. And DJ James Kennedy was performing like he was performing at that Imagine show.
Imagine.
But I mean, it's the
I believe
Canyon
it.
Club. And it was just like a row of 12 people and then like the four of us in the back and then like the people sitting at the tall tables, you know? And he was like, what's going on? Like doing his whole thing. But then out comes Tom Sandoval trying to make himself a part of the set.
Oh, fuck
And
you.
tries to do this bit with his jacket, like trying to put this jacket on James. But James, I think I have it on the highlight reel. James literally like takes the jacket and it just doesn't even acknowledge Tom. Like he's like,
Good.
he's like, you're not going to come on and be a part of my set after literally doing
Making
a
us
whole
listen to you for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that must have been like so much fun though. I mean, that's thoroughly enjoyable because at least you're not sitting in a theater that is echoing with I'm not going to be that mean. With someone who is frail on the stage singing about Schwartz's mom. Oh god, it's giving going to an open mic night where
Yeah.
you are praying, like even if someone goes up and you're like, I feel like you're such an asshole but like you can't even not root for the asshole because you're so embarrassed for them getting up. Yeah,
Yep. It's bad.
oh my god.
It's very bad.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know if you're intending to go to BravoCon this year. I mean,
Oh, I
guess
am.
it's finally okay. Good. Yes,
I will be there.
Good. With bells on, we will. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to see each other this year.
Yes.
At least they won't be selling $199 tickets to Tom and the Most Extra, as apparently it'll probably be what, Erica,
Oh.
that they're going to try and have.
Oh, because that's right. She's got the residency.
But okay. call it that. Um, I mean, I don't think Adele paid for her residency, but
Good point.
mhm.
But that was
Um,
that was good shade.
yeah. Well, we've learned from the best.
We've learned from the best.
Now,
Mimi would be proud.
yes, kind of, I hope. Now, I've kept you so long. I know
This
you,
was so fun, though.
I had so much fun with you. This was long overdue. I'm so glad we finally
I
got to
know. I know.
do this.
I'm gonna have you on mine for
Um,
sure.
Anytime. You just
Okay.
let me know.
Okay,
I'm
good.
here. I'm always here to talk all things Bravo because obviously you and I could sit and do this for hours
I know.
because it's
I'm
just
going to check out your TikTok about Schwartz because I'm now like I'm so curious because we're clearly on the same page there.
oh yeah, there are two. There are two. The one I originally posted, I was like, okay, let me just real quick like throw this in there, and then the second one, I was like, okay, here's the Schwartz formula,
Got it.
and a lot of people are very much like, yeah, we've seen it, and I'm like, well, then why has everyone been hating on Katie for this long? Anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it for what it is. Emily, thank you so much for coming on here. I cannot wait to have you back. Y'all, again, go find Emily. She is at She Speaks Bravo. That's on Instagram. And she's gonna have some more TikToks she's posting
I
soon
am
because
gonna
I'm gonna
have
tell her
more
a few things.
TikToks.
And her podcast, obviously, she's everywhere. Go follow, go listen, go find her. And thanks for listening, friends. We'll see you next week. Okay? Bye.
Bye.